so we're hoping it'll be a bit quieter than the southern end.
Waiting for you in a town where I've always stuck around. It's always easy when I see someone waiting there for me.
This last leg of our journey took us from Arthur River to Burnie, where we visited Guide Falls and a distillery, onto Scottsdale, which was Scottsdale, then on to Policeman's Point on the Bay of Fires, and back to Launceston for the markets, and finally to Devonport, where we visited the Tasmanian Arboretum and prepared our journey back to the mainland. I'm learning in Tassie you always need to be prepared to take pictures and video. I left the GoPro in the car again. We're visiting Guide Falls, and that's what we have. It's actually really, really nice. So Guide Falls is behind Burnie in the north of Tasmania. I love it. Nearly 3 months in Tasmania, and we were yet to visit a whisky distillery. We chose Hellyers Road, and it didn't disappoint. It's just huge. Yeah, great. And a picture of it. Right, so how to do this slowly.
You did it quite relatively free at the start.
Slow it down.
Yeah, then stop it. Yeah, and now just slowly fill it. And stop. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Self-filled whiskey.
Yeah, so you basically just go sort of straight in.
Right.
So you can either do it here,
Yeah.
so it's just straight in, and then you let it drip for about half a second, then it's on an angle and you're turning.
Yep.
And you just do there's this big blob of wax, so
Yeah.
you just turn, then go horizontally straight turning. And when it gets lesser, just go up just to flatten it a bit, and then in, out, 3
Right.
times. I just do it with slowly, just to,
So
so it's straight in,
Out.
out and then turning. So you're just turning that wax at the top. And then you can start going horizontal, so you keep turning. And then up, and then in. No, that's okay. That's just and then another time wax.
Okay.
Wax, yeah. Great.
Great, thank you very much.
Perfect.
Self-bottled. Wow. That was an interesting afternoon, wasn't it? Certainly better than the morning.
Yeah, much better than we expected, really. That was such a lovely whiskey tasting.
Yeah, so we went and did a whiskey tasting at the Hellyers Road Distillery, which is apparently one of the biggest but still boutique
And oldest.
and oldest distillers in Tasmania. They make 15 whiskies, but we ended up buying 3 actually. So the one I poured myself is this one. It's the Hellyers Road Muscat, I think it's called, because it's made in Muscat barrels. So that is a very nice, well balanced one. It's also cask strength, or around about cask strength, so I'm looking forward to that. And what have you got, Lizzie?
I've got the Tasmanian whiskey cream, which won the World Liquor Awards Cream World's Best. So it does taste awesome. I don't usually like liquors, but that one is good.
Yeah, so this is Bailey's on steroids. Yeah. And finally, as an extra, I like peated whiskies, and so we got the Hellyers Road 7-year peated, and that's a very interesting one because on the initial taste it tastes lightly peated, but then the peat develops on the aftertaste. So all in all, a very interesting afternoon.
Yeah.
Very happy with that.
And we were alone. And how nice was that lady, huh? They
Yeah.
were so friendly.
Yeah, so it was almost a private tour. It's just simply not
It
many
was a
people
private
around.
tour.
It was, yeah, absolutely.
And we paid $25 a person. And then you can pay $10 extra to get the 20-year-old whiskey. And I think that was
The
well worth it.
21-year-old, and of course we took that, and it was a very complex whiskey, something quite interesting to taste. We're at the Little Blue Lake, and so I'm going to try and get a drone up on this. It might be quite interesting. Unfortunately, it's a bit overcast, the weather's not ideal, but the colour's superb. We're on our way into Policeman's Point. So it's the very north end of the Bay of Fires, so we're hoping it'll be a bit quieter than the southern end that tends to get lots of people in those campsites.
Take the second right, then your destination will be on the left.
Campground.
No fires.
No fires. Well, that's
Good thing we didn't buy any meat.
okay.
We could have gone to some.
Let's have a drive around.
That looks very nice.
Campsites that way are both ways. There's one just there.
Slow down, slow down.
You can point it at them.
In
Watch out, this
300
one.
meters,
Watch.
slight left.
A little one.
Yes, I'm going right.
Oh, it's a baby. Oh my goodness.
There's heaps of them. Look up here.
They're
there's two.
everywhere here. Look at that.
Something tells you it's not often people here. Photo by vehicle, there you go.
Just go slowly, slowly. We can see.
Going slowly.
There's something jumping out.
Slight left.
I'm going very slowly. This is the
It's pretty,
Lightkeeper's cottage. I'm going to assume
Left.
it's left, yeah.
It's pretty. Look at that.
In 200 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
It's beautiful, though, isn't it?
You have arrived.
We have arrived. We're at Eddyston's Point, and this is Eddyston's Point Lighthouse, which is one of the notable things to see just north of the Bay of Fires. We find a little path down to the edge of the water, and there we can really see the red lichen-covered rocks of the Bay of Fires. It looks absolutely superb. So Lizzie, what do you think of all this lichen on the rocks behind us?
Beautiful.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. It's all these surprises you get in Tasmania. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Middle Finger Rock on the Bay of Fires. Well, after a super day exploring today, we've gone down to the beach at
Policeman's Point.
After a super day exploring today, we've gone down to Policeman's Point to look at the ocean and have a little bit of a drink. It's just absolutely wonderful. Well, that was a short but sweet stay at Policeman's Point, and we're now making our way towards Launceston again, our favourite large town in the north. We'll go to Old Mac's campsite again, and we've got a few things to do around there before going on to Devonport and home. To get to Policeman's Point is about 30 kilometres of unsealed road, so 30 kilometres each way. So we've dropped our tyre pressures to about, I think it's 34 psi on the back and 31 on the front. We didn't want to go too low because our car tyres are not light truck tyres, they're ordinary AT tyres, so they bag out a lot and we don't want a puncture on the sidewall. Our caravan tyre pressures are at 30 psi, which is probably reasonable for a caravan that would normally run about 44 on the road. And so as soon as possible we'll be back up to our normal tyre pressures once we get onto the tarmac again. So Lizzie, what did we get at market?
Well, we got some really nice leatherwood honey for us and for our lovely neighbors that helped us so much. Baguette. Smells really nice. And last but not least, some nice local gin. And that's it.
So not a hell of a lot, but definitely they're really nice products, and we just loved the sort of community atmosphere at the market. So we chatted with loads of people. It's called the Harvest Market.
There's always a bit of live music going on, and it's just very chill.
Absolutely, it's really, really nice.
So this is our last few days in Tasmania, unfortunately. So we're spending the weekend in Launceston, and we've just been to the harvest markets, and we decided to check out the city park with the monkeys. After our monkey business, we're off to check out Grindelwald, which is a resort that's based on Swiss architecture. So apparently it was a Swiss person that sold the ground under the condition that houses were to be built in Swiss style. And since Paul and I lived in Switzerland for many years, we'd like to check it out.
Turn right, then you will arrive at your destination.
Look at this. Guten Morgen. Well, Grindelwald is a small town in the canton of Bern in Switzerland, very touristy, and it seems there's a Grindelwald Resort here, and so we're going to have a look at this. It looks quite nice.
Pretty good when we drive in.
Yeah,
I mean,
so let's see how we go. this sort of looks familiar, doesn't it? The menu is very Tasmanian, and the bakery had nothing Swiss in it. Well, that was a bit disappointing, so our conclusion is this is a bit of a tourist trap. Certainly the menus in the restaurants, there's nothing Swiss at all.
Yeah. The houses look Swiss, and I was hopeful, but
Yeah, so typically the houses, a little village fountain and so on, that's got a Swiss feeling. But the food, which we were hoping for a Swiss lunch, like a raclette or a fondue, or what would you call it, the Alpen macarone, or something like that, but no way.
Äppler macaron.
Äppler, okay. Whatever,
Yeah.
but nah, so too bad. Okay, here we are, Devonport.
Take the Middle Road exit, then turn right onto Middle Road.
The first thing we're going to do in Devonport is go and wash the car and the van. They're both extremely dirty. Just got to go right up. And here we go. Heaps of coins, and so I've got some here as well. Put everything together. Right. This is going to be at least 20 bucks, maybe more.
A job well done.
Oh, that took a while. I don't know, I didn't time it, but probably more than half an hour.
Wow.
Look, we're clean, but we're not perfect. We're at the Arboretum near Devonport, so we thought we'd have a last look at something before we left, hoping to find those elusive platypus, aren't we?
Yes.
So we'll see how we go. It looks really interesting, actually. So there's lots of trees and things. Let's go and have a look.
Visit this guide map.
And
Yeah.
platypus may be seen at the pond there, or the lake.
You can see it.
Should go for a walk then. Just a lovely setting here.
good was that?
I mean, I was hoping that it would be as good as people said, but it's even better. I think that's a highlight. How many platypus have you seen? 5, 6?
At least, I'd say. And the last few, they must have been those that were rostered on for us, because they were really close by. So very, very, very nice arboretum, it's called. So
It's close to Launceston Road.
yeah,
And
10
the
kilometers.
Tasmanian Arboretum, I think it's
Yeah.
called. And I mean, you could easily spend a day here.
Yeah.
Take a picnic. There's lots of benches.
Yeah.
It is just so beautiful.
Yeah, definitely do it. Definitely do
Yeah.
it.
Early start. We're off to the spirit of Tasmania.
Take
And
the
this
next
is the
left
end of
towards
our
High Street,
wonderful
then turn
trip
right
to
onto
Tasmania.
High Street.
Gosh, that feels weird being back on the mainland, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
And have all the traffic noises and
Yeah.
everything. But how good weather is 3 months, huh?
Yeah, 3 months, 9,000 kilometers we did in Tassie, so that's not counting getting to Geelong and back, which will add another 2,600 for us. It's a long way in a long time, that's for sure.
It's well worth it, though.
No, absolutely.
My
well
head
worth
is
it.
so full with all the impressions and everything. I think we need to digest that, and
Yeah.
we'll do a little video on that, on our best 5, 10, whatever little tips of what we noticed.
Yeah, so we'll do that. But we'll also do, because I did notice there's a Facebook group which is Lap of Tasmania, and there's been many questions about the roads, and I think we've got good experience about the roads now, so we'll add that in, some information on how good or bad the roads are, and give a bit of insight into that.
I mean, they have been pretty good.
They've been pretty good, absolutely, but I think there are some tips that are useful for travellers. So I think that's about it for the On the Ground series that we've done here about Tasmania. Thanks very much for watching. Do please comment, like and subscribe. We'd really like to have your comments to understand what you'd like to see in our videos, and we can do that.
Bye.
See you in the next one.
See you soon.
We hope you enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, and see you in the next one.